What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room. And this is where we at now. So you clearly see the title of the broadcast, and we're talking about the situation of tipping and black people and, how they tip or don't tip. Not every black person is a non-tipper. But we're going to dive off into this and see what, people in the service industry has to say about when black people tip and things like that. So let's go here now. Quarters, nickels, and dimes.
To work in IHOP years ago, I remember being a hostess there. And whenever a black family or whoever black comes in, people would be running away like, oh, I want them. I don't want them. Like, we already look bad when we go to places we don't be tipping. And you're going to turn around and not get the girl a tip. Me, I tip well for that very reason. Because I know people are going to look at me like, oh, this black girl not going to tip me nothing. So I tip well on purpose.
So, I understand where she's coming from. And it's just the truth. We can't sit around here and not understand where the stigma comes from. And it's just the truth. Stereotypes are real, and when we sit around here and negate those facts, it's a stain upon us. But a lot of people don't want to think that it's a real that those type of stereotypes are real. It's just the truth. It's not made up out of nowhere. Let's go here now.
Let's talk about it. I was a server for 5 years, but I worked in the restaurant for like almost a decade. When it comes to our brothers and sisters not tipping, I understand the stigma. Let's talk about it though. I'll say this. I've never had a brother or sister not tip me. And I ain't never want to complain about a tip ever. You know what I'm saying? I'm at a point in life now where I always bare minimum tip 20%. Or at least $10. If the check $20, I'm tipping 10. That's just where I'm at now because I'm blessed to do that. But there was a time where I couldn't do that. But I wouldn't go out to eat unless I could tip 10%. Bare minimum, I would not go out to eat unless I could tip 10 to 15%. Anyway, the only group of people that has ever done this, in particular to me is the brothers and sisters and snowbirds. We talking $5 on $100 check. Phenomenal service. And again, I won't complain about it. It's cool. I was making so much money serving and bartending, I did not care. I never walked out with anything less than $200 in my pocket. But I will say one thing is specific to the brothers and sisters. They would make us skeptical about it. They would dap me up. Hey, bro, I appreciate you. You were amazing. Ticket $100. Left me $5. See, that was the issue. Cause you giving me $5. Act like it's this whole big deal. That's the only thing I didn't like. That's the only thing. I will never complain about no lower tip, bro. I'm not tripping. But don't dap me up and hype me up like you finna give me at least 10 to 15% and you give me $5 on $100.
Yeah, I get it. And I've been in the restaurant game for well over almost 20 years now. I started in the culinary, definitely I started in restaurants when I was 16. I'm 42 now, and I've built this into a career. Right now I'm making a good living at it and things like that. But this is the thing here. I've seen a lot of things in situations over the decade that I've, been engaged in this type of lifestyle of the restaurant game, and believe it or not, it is its own entity. The people that are working for, restaurants and stuff like that, we are our own clan, low key. A lot of y'all out there, the outsiders, y'all don't know this, but I'm telling you right now, the people that, work in restaurants, stuff like that for long periods of time, we're our own clan, technically. And this is how it goes down. And it's disrespectful when you come into a restaurant, definitely a sit-down restaurant where you needing servers and bussers and food runners and all that type of stuff. And you sit there and you try to enjoy the atmosphere and things like that. Definitely if you have a good server and you just disrespect them by leaving a sorry ass tip on your check. Jesus Christ. I mean, what I'm saying? You're in there with hold on here. Let's keep because it's a lot we need to cover. It's a lot that we need to cover, and it's always more on the bottom line. Let's go.
I'm gonna need for you guys to wrap up this Black people don't tip conversation up expeditiously. I truly need y'all to wrap it up. It's really starting to piss me off. Like, truly, yeah. It's almost triggering me because I am obviously a Black woman and I pride myself on being an amazing tipper. A lot of times I tip 20% or more, even when the service is absolutely trash or subpar, which I should not do that. But you can always.
Right. You definitely, you should not do that. And as a person that's been in the restaurant game for, multiple years upon years, no, I don't even suggest that. I do go out to eat at restaurants and stuff like that. And as a chef, I do critique other restaurants low key and things like that. Maybe I need to start a channel on that, but that's neither here nor there. All I'm saying is though, when you get, subpar service, sorry, I don't care how other people feel about it, this and that. No, you don't supposed to reward those type of people for giving you subpar service. You're only supposed to reward the people that are actually doing the things, enjoying their job and stuff like that, and getting, and actually, giving you the service that you should have. But, it is what it is out here. Let's keep going.
Tell when the server, when the waitress, when the bartender, when the waiter has this preconceived notion that you're not going to tip well, and they greet you accordingly. Like, they literally will come up to you automatically with this attitude or with this air that, oh, it's no reason to give them good service because they're not going to tip anyway. So a lot of times when I see that, I'm like, okay, cool, let me show you, because at this point I'm trying to clear up this narrative that you've created about my people. Not only have I always been a great tipper, my friends tip very well, my family tips very well, and they're all Black. Obviously not all my friends are, but I'm just saying, like, I don't appreciate this conversation. And what's really disheartening is that it's us saying it about us. Now, if it was somebody else saying it about us, y'all would be so offended. But for y'all to be coming at your own people, creating this narrative, knowing good and damn well you have gotten tipped well by Black people before. Like, I just think that you should be checking I'm not saying everybody is a great tipper. And again, it don't matter what the ethnic.
Right. You're contradicting yourself, young lady. Of course, we know not everybody's a great tipper, regardless of the race and things like that, or the skin color, however you want to put this shit. Of course, not everybody's a great tipper, but the stereotype is not presented for no reason. We know that in most cases, the majority of, Black individuals do go out and, they don't tip, And if this wasn't a serious situation, would nobody be talking about it? Would nobody be talking about it? Because it wouldn't exist. It wouldn't exist if this wasn't happening. So let's just keep this real. So we're going to keep going. And this is wild out here. So let's see what this lady has to say.
Only serving and working at a restaurant with only 2 weeks. The one thing I noticed is that, one, Black people really do not tip. Y'all definitely fit the stereotype. 2, the couples, especially the older Black couples, the women be so fucking insecure. Like, you can't even ask the man what's the order, what's his order. Oh, you could just talk to me. You can ask me. I told this nigga I liked his shoes. He had on the Jordan 9s, the brown and black ones. She gonna say, well, that was disrespectful of you because I'm his wife and I'm sitting right here. Why you compliment my husband? Bitch, I said I like his shoes. My daughter, nigga had no front row of teeth. Bitch, why is he even here? He can't eat shit off the menu but mashed potatoes and macaroni, bitch. Like,
woo, what she say? Why is he here? He got no front row of teeth. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow. This is some super insecure ass shit. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, that's his fault. That's his fault for not keeping this woman straight. You know, his woman coming there being insecure about a man with no teeth at an older age. Obviously, she's talking about older people. You know, and I get it. You know, older people, life is different. You know what I'm saying? You know, I've had family members that need, you know, dental stuff and things like that, or dental implants, or, you know, uh things like that. Man, this is wild out here. And at this older age, this woman is still insecure. Jesus Christ, man. Jesus, man. This is ridiculous out here.
Nobody want that old ass, toothless ass nigga. What the fuck? Like, and she made a big ass scene all because I said I liked his shoes, saying these young girls always trying to get an older man. Bitch, please. Like, ugh. She was ugly as fuck herself. They belong together. I just like the nigga's shoes. My fault, boo.
This is wow. This is wild. But hey, listen, look, man. You know, our reality though, you know, tipping is a serious situation. You know, when you go out to eat and stuff like that, and you have your server ripping and running all over the damn place and stuff like that, and you know, you want to leave your server a poo put ass tip and stuff like that after you done had them ripping and running all night, whether it's just a couple coming out or it's a group of people coming out. You people need to understand that yes, you need to tip these people and stuff like that. You need to do your due diligence to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, you provide the, you know, that you could go out and actually eat properly, you know, and not skip out on the check. Because I've seen people do that, skip out on the check, all types of stuff throughout the years, you know what I'm saying, in the restaurant game. You know, sour ass people, regardless of the race. I've seen all the black, white, Asian, it don't fucking matter. I've seen it all. I've seen all these motherfuckers want to sit around here, come out to eat and have a good meal and stuff like that, a good experience, get served properly, and then they want to, you know what I'm saying, either skip out or they want to leave somebody a petty ass penny, you know what I'm saying, for their service and shit after they had the server ripping and running all damn night. This is ridiculous out here. Yeah, it's crazy. And I said it. I fucking said it, and I stand 10 toes down on it because I know it's the truth. I seen it with my own eyes from some of you so-called customers out there. This is crazy.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to get in on this black server, black patrons, no tipping thing. As a former server, I know it all too well. I've worked high end, I've worked sports bars, I've waited tables, I've tended bar. Stereotypes are earned. Nobody just sat there and like made them up off the top of their head.
Right.
And they are perpetuated by the fact that people fill and fulfill those stereotypes. Black people. So years and years ago, probably about 19 years ago now, I worked at a nicer restaurant in Atlanta, Georgia. And we had a handful of black servers, myself included. We had white servers as well, a nice number of white servers. The particular restaurant I'm not going to name, but it was known in Atlanta at that time for a lot of like celebrities to come in. It was a really nice place to work. And I still patronize, not that particular restaurant because I'm not in that area anymore, but that family of restaurants I patronize. Anyway, whenever black patrons would come in, other servers would basically be trying to give away those tables. Hey, can you take my table 6, for example? Look over, table full of black women. So what you would find with the groups of black women, okay, and this is coming from the perspective of a black female semi-cute server. Immediate attitude, immediate snarkiness, trying to run the server just raggedy. Like, I remember, for example, there was this one table that I had when I was at that particular restaurant, and was I think it was a 4-top of young black women. And it was like, you know, excuse me, can I have this? Right? Sure, bring it over, drop it off. Oh yeah, and I need this. Okay, go get that, come back. Yeah, I need this. Okay, to the point of literally this every time that you drop something off the table, and I need this. And it was very apparent that it was intentional and to just be nasty and rude and and weird. And then
And you do get those type of people in restaurants. Like I said, I've been in the restaurant game for 20 years. I've seen it all, from servers, being a busser, and also being a food runner, also working in the kitchen, things like that. I've seen it all too. These servers are not just making this shit up. They're not just making this shit up. It is a huge situation with the disrespect. And I'm telling you, I've seen the situations with some servers. They have the same tables like that. And they just, every time you come to the table, it's somebody needing something, this and that, whoop de whoop, and things like that. Instead of just everybody sitting, at the table, like, listen, look, just bring such and such to the table, and I'm saying, this and that. It's the disrespect, and it's the disdain, and it's the, like she said, it's the trying to, be disrespectful low key. Just to see your server rip and run for you. It's the outlook on that shit that a lot of people sit there and like, I got somebody serving me, so I'm gonna make this motherfucker work. I'm gonna make this motherfucker rip and run. I'm gonna do this and do that and stuff like that. Just to see this human being do what I tell them to do. And that's what that is. And yeah, I got a huge problem with that, because I've worked in the field for decades now, and I see what certain servers go through. I've seen it firsthand. So can't nobody tell me any damn thing different. I've seen it with my own two eyes. You sit down with your motherfucking fat ass and you know what I'm saying, you rip and run people all night, and then you want to leave them a petty ass tip. This is ridiculous out here.
After all of that, no tip.
I've seen that too.
When it's a Black couple, man and woman, and again, from the perspective of a female semi-cute server, don't talk to that man. Don't look at that man. The woman or the wife or girlfriend or whomever is already like, she's on edge. She's tense. She only wants you to talk with her. He doesn't talk. You don't take his order. I'll tell you his order. That type of attitude. No tip. It's sad, but it's true. And so while I have an opinion about the fact that, should servers, and this is coming from a former server, shouldn't these corporations and these restaurants like pay you a living, wage? And yes, of course, right? But at the same time, you're serving people, y'all could have stayed home and cooked. You could have stayed home and prepared your own meal and served your man and, or served your woman and, or your children or whatever the case is, but you chose to come out and sit down and not have to worry about a damn thing, and people who are servers for years, they know that it's a craft. They take it very seriously. I learned proper service in that particular high-end restaurant. And I was so impressed with the system and method of serving that they use and that they train their staff on. You have to eat all of the food anyway. What I say that to say that there are many servers who are like years-long servers. It's their craft. They're very good at it. They're very serious about it. It's not just like a little job to make it, and so to serve somebody for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, and then they don't tip, it's nasty work, especially if they run you back and forth. And at this same high-end restaurant where celebrities would come to and everything, I had a couple of those celebrities, Black, not tip as well. I even had one walk out on my bill. She was a
wow. So yeah, This is where we at. And you know what I'm saying? She said a lot at that last little segment. And you know, it's crazy out here. Yes. You know, and she said she even had celebrities to walk out on checks. Jesus, man. Jesus. But you know, this tipping situation is, you know, completely out of hand. And like she said, though, you know, I definitely know, you know, due to my fact that I've been in the restaurant game for, you know, a decade and more, you know, yeah, you know, it just is what it is here. You know, people make their living. A good server at a real good restaurant, you can make, you know, $600 to $1,000 a night at a real, you know, upscale, you know, prestige restaurant. And of course it breaks down, you know, you got your Olive Gardens, you got, you know what I'm saying, minimal sit down restaurant, stuff like that. You know, it's levels to the shit. But you know, at a restaurant that's booming, that, you know, it's a sit down restaurant, you have to have servers, bussers, food runners, all the type of stuff. You know, a server can make a decent amount of money every night. And you know, that's shit. Some servers can make rent in one night. That's just one night. You got 7 days in a week and you got 4 weeks in a month. Most of the, you know, and I'm just saying, some servers make more than, you know, even some of the even some of the managers in the restaurant, if you really just do the math. But this is weird out here. And I know people hate that. And, you know, saying some people have done the math and stuff like that. That's the reason why they probably don't want to tip and all the type of stuff. But this is the point here, man. When these people are serving tables, it's not just the disrespect to the server. It's the disrespect to the whole experience. It's the disrespect to the restaurant. You're disrespecting the chefs, all types of stuff that are back there cooking the food, things like that, that provide you also the experience and stuff like. It's the whole disrespect. Whether y'all like the truth or not, it's the whole disrespect that you're disrespecting the whole experience. Tip your servers out there. You know, even when I go out, you know, because I know better, because I've worked in the field for so many years. I don't leave people a sorry ass tip, because it's disrespectful that these people, and also too, due to the fact that I've been in it for so many years, you know, I don't rip and run people. I go in there, you know what I'm saying? I sit down, even if I sit down, you know, with a date, something like that, you know what I'm saying? You know, I already know where me and my day gonna eat, stuff like that. I order this and that. I break this shit down, you know what I'm saying? From what she explained to, a lot of these, you know, definitely a lot of these dudes out here, they sound like poo putts. You're gonna sit there and let your woman disrespect the server and all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is you doing too, dude? This is crazy to me. What is you doing as a man? Your woman jealous, you need to fix your woman. You know what I'm saying? Obviously she got fucking issues. Whatever fuck. I don't give a fuck who disagreed or agreed, whatever fuck. This is crazy. You're gonna allow the person that you sitting around and want to carry out the dinner to disrespect other people. And then, you know, have so much manipulation over you as a man that you know what I'm saying, she gonna tell you what tip to leave. This is ridiculous out here. And this is sad, but it's true. And yo, it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.